Welcome, history buffs and curious minds, to an epic journey through the world of the samurai Japan's legendary warriors of the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, spanning the 12th to 15th centuries. You've seen them in movies, slashing through foes with razor-sharp katanas, living by a code of honor, and rocking that iconic Chanmage hairstyle. But who were the samurai, really? Were they just fierce knights of the sword? Or quirky guys obsessed with top knots? Today, we're diving deep into their lives. Training, loyalty, battles, and the myths Hollywood got wrong? Buckle up for part 1 of this 20-part series as we uncover the truth behind Japan's samurai. Let's set the stage. Picture Japan in the Kamakura period. Starting in 1185, the land is rugged, divided by powerful clans vying for control. The emperor's power is waning, and a new military government, the shogunate. Rise under Minamoto no Yoritomo, the first shogun. This is the dawn of the samurai-era warriors who serve their lords with unwavering loyalty. The Kamakura period, from 1185 to 1333, was a time of chaos, with wars like the Genpei War shaping these battle-hardened men. Then, the Muromachi period, from 1336 to 1573, brought more turmoil, rival shoguns, and epic clashes. This is the world where samurai thrived, not just as fighters, but as a cultural force. So, who were these guys? Samurai, meaning those who serve, were more than just soldiers. They were a social class, born into a system where honor, duty, and the blade defined their existence. Imagine a young boy, maybe 7 years old, handed a wooden sword, training from dawn till dusk. His life was discipline, learning to wield the katana, the long, curved sword that became the samurai's soul. He'd practice cuts, stances, and blocks, the sweat dripping, muscles aching. Under the watchful eye of a master, this wasn't just about fighting. It was about precision, focus, and becoming one with the weapon. Training didn't stop there. Archery was huge. Samurai were originally horse-mounted archers, galloping across fields, loosing arrows with deadly accuracy. The yumi, their asymmetrical bow, was a work of art, crafted from bamboo and wood, powerful enough to pierce armor. Picture a samurai on horseback, wind whipping through his topknot, drawing the bowstring back, eyes locked on a distant target. They also studied hand-to-hand combat, spears, and even poetry. Yes, poetry. A true samurai balanced the art of war with the art of the mind, writing haiku to calm the spirit before battle. Now, let's talk loyalty. Samurai lived by Bushido, the way of the warrior, a code that wasn't fully written down until later, but was deeply felt. Loyalty to their daimyo, the feudal lord, was everything. Imagine swearing your life to a leader, ready to die for him in a heartbeat. If your lord fell in battle, you'd face a choice: follow him in death, through seppuku, a ritual suicide by slicing the belly, or become a ronin, a masterless samurai, wandering in shame. This bond wasn't just duty, it was personal, a sacred trust forged through years of service. Battles defined their legacy. Let's zoom in on the Kamakura period's chaos. The Genpei War, from 1180 to 1185, pitted the Minamoto clan against the Taira, Samurai clashed in brutal melees, swords flashing, horses thundering. The Minamoto's victory birthed the shogunate, cementing the samurai's role. Fast forward to the Muromachi period, and you've got the Onin War, 1467 to 1477, a civil war that tore Kyoto apart. Buildings burned, families fled, and samurai fought street to street, their armor clanking, their banners raised high. These weren't just skirmishes, they were turning points in Japan's history. Speaking of armor, let's debunk a myth. Movies show samurai in sleek, shiny gear. But real armor, called yoroi, was practical. Made of lacquered iron plates, leather, and silk cords. It was light enough to move in, strong enough to stop a blade. Helmets, akabuto, often had fierce crests, think horns or crescents to intimidate foes. And that chanmage, that top knot wasn't just style. The shaved forehead and tied back hair kept helmets secure and sweat out of their eyes during battle. Practical and badass. Life wasn't all war. Though, a samurai's day might start with meditation, kneeling in silence, calming the mind. He'd train, eat simple meals rice. Fish, pickled veggies, then serve his lord. Maybe guarding a castle or collecting taxes from peasants. At night, he might write poetry by candlelight, reflecting on life's fleeting nature. This blend of discipline and culture made samurai unique, not just warriors, but thinkers, bound by honor. We've scratched the surface, but the samurai's story is vast. In the next part, we'll dive into their swordsmanship, the making of the katana, and how they prepared for battles like Sekigahara in 1600. Stick with us to separate fact from fiction and uncover the real samurai. If you're loving this, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for part 2. What do you think, were samurai just sword-wielding knights? Or did the chanmage steal the show? Drop your thoughts below. Let's dive deeper into the world of the samurai, Japan's legendary warriors of the Kamakura and Muromachi periods. Today, we're sharpening our focus on their swordsmanship, the artistry behind the katana, and how they prepared for epic clashes like the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600. Get ready for a thrilling ride through the heart of samurai skill and spirit. Swordsmanship was the samurai's core. The katana, that iconic curved blade, wasn't just a weapon, it was an extension of their soul. Training began young, often at Eiseun, with boys gripping wooden baken, mimicking deadly cuts. Imagine a dojo, the air thick with focus. As a master barks orders feet apart, knees bent, and strike, they practiced katas, precise sequences of moves, draw, slash, block, sheath, over and over, until muscle memory took over. A single misstep could mean death in battle. So perfection was the goal. Schools like the Katori Shinto Ryu, one of the oldest, taught fluid motions, blending attack and defense, all while staying calm under pressure. Now, the katana itself, pure craftsmanship, forged by master swordsmiths. The process was sacred. They'd start with tamahagane, a special steel from iron sand, heated in a clay furnace for days. The smith, often praying to Shinto gods, folded the steel hundreds of times, hammering it into a blade with a hard edge for cutting and a softer core for flexibility. The curve that came from cooling the red-hot blade in water, making it bend just right. Polished for weeks, the katana's edge could slice through armor, bone, anything. A good blade took months, even years, and was priceless. Passed down through generations. Samurai didn't just grab a sword and charge. Preparation was intense. Before battle, they'd test their blades, sometimes on straw mats, sometimes gruesomely on condemned criminals, ensuring the cut was clean. They'd train in armor, heavy yoroi, weighing 20 to 30 pounds, moving until it felt like a second skin. Archery practice honed their aim, and horseback drills built speed and balance. Mental prep was key to meditation. Deep breathing, picturing the fight. A samurai had to be ready, body and mind, to face death without flinching. Let's zoom in on the Battle of Sekigahara, the 21st of October, 1600, a turning point in the late Muromachi era's chaos. Japan was split, the Western Army, loyal to Toyotomi Hideyoshi's heir, versus the Eastern Army, led by Tokugawa Ieyasu, hungry for power, over 160. Zero warriors clashed in a foggy valley near Sekigahara. Samurai woke before dawn, donning armor, tying back their chanmage, and checking their katanas. The air buzzed with tension, hoofs pounding. Var, cries echoing. Swords met spears, muskets fired, early gunfire, and blood soaked the mud. Tokugawa's victory, thanks to a key betrayal by Kobayakawa Hideaki, ended the battle in hours, paving the way for his shogunate. Samurai proved their skill here, cutting through chaos with precision. But let's bust a myth. Hollywood loves lone samurai slicing through armies. All flair and fury. Reality, samurai fought as units, coordinated with archers, spearmen, and later gunners. Battles weren't duels, they were messy, strategic, and brutal. A lone warrior might be brave, but without allies, he'd fall fast. Movies also overplay the katana's role. Bows and spears often dominated early on. The samurai wasn't a reckless hero, he was a trained soldier, loyal to his lord's plan. Daily life sharpened their skills too. A samurai might rise at sunrise, stretch, then spar with peers, blades clashing in controlled drills. They'd study tactics, reading scrolls about past battles, learning from legends like Minamoto no Yoshitsune. Some practiced calligraphy, steadying their hands and minds, writing lines like "Life is fleeting," "Honneur éternel." Diet was lean rice, miso, fish, fueling long days of duty. This routine built warriors ready for anything, from a bandit raid to a war. Welcome back, warriors of history. We're slicing deeper into the world of Japan's samurai during the Kamakura and Muromachi periods. From the 12th to 15th centuries, today, we're unraveling the heart of their spirit, the code of Bushido, the unshakable loyalty and honor that define them, and the stark reality of seppuku, the ritual suicide that sealed their legacy. Let's step into the samurai's mind and soul. Bushido, the way of the warrior, was the guiding light for samurai. Though not fully written down until later, its roots grew strong in these early centuries. Imagine a code blending courage, loyalty, and integrity, etched into a samurai's very being. It wasn't just rules, it was a way of life. Courage meant facing death head-on, blade in hand, heart steady. A samurai charged into battle, knowing each swing of the katana might be his last. Yet fear never broke him. This wasn't bravado. It was a quiet strength. Forged through years of training and discipline, loyalty was the cornerstone. Samurai swore allegiance to their daimyo, the feudal lord who gave them purpose. Picture a warrior kneeling before his master, vowing to serve, protect, and die if needed. This bond was sacred, deeper than family ties. A samurai might leave his home, his wife, his children, to follow his lord's call to war. Betrayal, unthinkable. If a daimyo fell, his samurai felt the weight some fought on. Others faced a grim choice. We'll get too soon. Loyalty wasn't blind, it was a pact. A trust that held clans together through chaos. Honor tied it all together. A samurai's reputation was everything, lose it, and you lost your place in the world. Honor meant keeping your word, respecting allies, even showing mercy to a worthy foe. Imagine a battle's end. A samurai spares a defeated enemy, not from weakness, but because Bushido valued dignity. Shame, though, cut deeper than any blade. A dishonored samurai, maybe one who fled combat, faced scorn, shunned by peers, a ghost in his own land. Bushido demanded they live and die with grace. Now, seppuku ritual suicide. It's heavy, but vital to understand. When a samurai failed his lord, lost honor, or faced capture, he might choose this path. Picture a quiet room, the warrior in white robes, kneeling on a mat. Before him, a short blade. The tanto, he'd write a death poem. Maybe a haiku winds fade. My blade rests. Duty calls me home. Then, with steady hands, he'd plunge the blade into his belly, left to right. A final act of control. A trusted ally, his second, would strike his neck to end the pain swiftly. This wasn't defeat, it was redemption. A way to cleanse shame and prove loyalty beyond life. Why so extreme? In the Kamakura period, war was constant. Genpei War. Mongol invasions in 1274 and 1281. Losing meant chaos for your clan. Seppuku spared a samurai from enemy torture or ensured his family's honor. In the Muromachi era, as civil wars like the Onin War raged, it became a statement: I'd rather die by my hand than betray my cause. Not every samurai chose it. Some became ronin, masterless wanderers, rooming in disgrace, seeking redemption or survival. Let's clear a myth. Movies paint samurai as stoic robots, always ready to die. Truth is, they were human. Some wrestled with fear, doubted their path. Yet Bushido gave them strength. Diaries from the Muromachi period show samurai confessing nerves before battle, then steeling themselves for duty. They loved, laughed. Grieved Bushido didn't erase emotion, it channeled it. A samurai might pen a tender poem to his wife, then ride to war. Ready to give all. Daily life tested this code. A samurai woke early, meditated, then served, guarding his lord's castle. Training. Settling village dispudes. Honor showed in small acts, bowing to a superior. Teaching a child respect. Loyalty meant long days on horseback. Patrolling lands. Eyes sharp for rivals. Courage that came when bandits attacked. And he drew his katana, art pounding, to protect the weak. Bushido wasn't just for war. It shaped every breath. We're back, diving deeper into the lives of Japan's samurai during the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we're stepping off the battlefield to explore their castles, daily routines, and the delicate balance between war and family life. Get ready to see the samurai as protectors, providers, and people. Not just warriors with katanas and chanmage topknots. Let's start with castles. The beating hearts of samurai domains in the Kamakura period, starting 1185, the fences were simple wooden stockadas, earth mounds, built on hills for vantage. Think of Himeji Castle's early roots, a rugged fort, perched high, watching for enemy clans. By the Muromachi period, from 1336, castles grew grandeur, stone bases, thick walls, and winding paths confused attackers. Inside, you'd find the Tenshu, the main keep, a tower where the daimyo, the feudal lord, planned war. Samurai patrolled these walls, eyes sharp, katana at the ready, guarding against raids or sieges. Castles weren't just fortresses, they were homes. Picture a sprawling, complex wooden halls with tatami mats, sliding paper doors, a garden with a koi pond. The daimyo lived in the center. Lavish quarters with painted screens. Samurai families stayed nearby, in simpler rooms, always close to serve. A castle bud servants cooked rice, blacksmiths hammered blades, and samurai drilled in courtyards, the clash of swords echoing off stone. During the Onin War, 1467 to 1477, castles like Kyoto's burned, but others stood strong, shielding clans from chaos. Now, daily life. A samurai's day began at dawn. He'd rise, splash cold water on his face, and meditate, kneeling in silence to focus his mind. Breakfast was light rice, miso soup, pickled radish fuel for duty. Training came next, sparring with a bakken, the wooden sword, or loosing arrows with the yumi bow. Sweat beaded, muscles burned, but quitting wasn't an option. By mid-morning, he might ride out, patrolling the daimyo's lands, checking rice fields, or settling peasant disputes. Fairness was key. Père Bushido's honor. Afternoon duty valley. Some guarded the castle, standing tall in lacquered armor, scanning for trouble. Others advised the lord, hunched over maps, plotting against rival clans. Taxes were big. Samurai collected rice from villages, ensuring the clan's wealth. Downtime rare, but a samurai might sip tea, write a haiku. Cherry blooms fall fast. Duty holds me firm, or repair gear, polishing his katana till it gleamed. Night brought rest, but sleep was light. One hand near the blade, ready for a midnight attack. Family life was a quiet strength. Samurai married, often arranged to bind clans or boost status. Picture a warrior, stern in battle, softening at home. His wife managed the house, cooking, weaving, raising kids. She was tough, trained in the naginata, a pole weapon to defend the home if he was away. Children learned. Early boys swung wooden swords. Girls studied loyalty and grace. A samurai cherished his family, but duty came first. During the Mongol invasions, 1274 and 1281, he'd kiss his wife, hug his son, then ride off, unsure he'd return. Balance wasn't easy. War loomed. Constant Kamakura's Genpei War. Muromachi Civilstreife. A samurai might be home one day, laughing with his daughter. Then gone weeks, fighting for his lord. Letters kept bonds alive. My heart stays with you. though my blade serves our Lord. Guilt gnawed, missing a child's first steps, but Bushido demanded sacrifice. Some wives joined the fight, guarding castles and sieges, proving samurai spirit ran deep in the family. Let's bust a myth. Films show samurai as lone wolves, detached from home. Truth family anchored them. They fought for their lord, but also for their kin's safety, honor, and future. Diaries from the Muromachi era reveal tender notes, samurai pining for home, carving toys for kids between battles. They weren't cold, they were human, juggling loyalty to lord and love for family. We're charging forward, deep into the world of Japan's samurai during the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we're trading the katana for a broader view, exploring their arsenal beyond the sword spears, bows, and even early firearms. Get ready to see how these warriors adapted to the evolving chaos of war. Let's start with the Yumi, the samurai's trusty bow. Long before the katana stole the spotlight, samurai were master archers, especially in the Kamakura period, starting 1185. The Yumi was unique, tall, asymmetrical, crafted from bamboo and wood, bound with rattan. Picture a samurai on horseback, galloping through mist, drawing the bowstring, eyes locked on a foe, its power-pierced armor, and range. Let them strike from afar. During the Genpei War, 1180 to 1185, archers turned battles, raining arrows on the Taira clan. Training was grueling hours of pulling the string, building strength, perfecting aim. Accuracy was life or death. Next, the yari, the spear. This weapon was a game changer, especially in the Muromachi period. From 1336, yari varied, some short, some over 10 feet long, with straight or cross-shaped blades of forged steel. Imagine a samurai in formation, thrusting a yari, keeping enemies at bay. On horseback, they'd charge, skewering foes with precision. In battles like the Onin War, 1467 to 1477, yari units held lines against rushing swordsmen. Warriors trained endlessly thrust, parry, sweep, muscles straining, ready for the chaos of clashing armies. The yari's reach gave them an edge, complementing the katana's close cuts. Then came early firearms, a shock to the samurai world. In 1543, Portuguese traders brought Tanegashima, matchlock guns, to Japan. These crude muskets changed war, especially late in the Muromachi era. Picture smoke curling from a bamboo barrel. A samurai, firing, the crack echoing across a field. They weren't precise, slow to load. Useless in rain, but deadly, punching through armor. By the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600, gunners joined archers and spearmen, blasting full ace. Samurai adapted fast, training to aim, clean the barrel, and stay calm amid gunpowder's roar. Some purists scoffed, loyal to the blade. But pragmatism won. Armor evolved too. Early Kamakura yoroi was boxy, made of iron plates and leather, tied with silk cords. Perfect for archery on horseback. Heavy but mobile. It shielded against arrows. In the Muromachi period, as spears and guns rose, armor slimmed down, tighter plates, hinged joints for agility. Helmets, Kabuto, bore crests, horns, crescents to awe foes. A samurai tested gear before battle, jogging in 20-pound armor, ensuring he could wield yari or load a gun without faltering. The Chanmage top knot, still practical, locking the helmet tight. Tactics shifted with weapons. In Kamakura days, samurai battled one-on-one, bow in hand, proving honor. Think Minamoto no Yoshitsune. Outsmarting foes with archery ambushes. By Muromachi. Chaos, like the Onin War demanded teamwork archers behind. Spearmen in front. Later gunners on flanks. Samurai studied scrolls. Planned with daimyo. And drilled formations. A commander might shout, "Hold the line." Loose arrows. Charge with yari. Flexibility kept them alive as war grew messier. Let's debunk a myth. Movies love the katana-obsessed samurai, slicing solo through hordes. Reality, they mastered many tools: yumi for range, yai for defense, guns for power. No weapon was supreme. Victory came from blending them. A samurai wasn't a one-trick warrior. He adapted, reading the fight, switching from bow to spear mid-battle. Hollywood misses this cunning versatility. Training tied it together. A samurai rose early, stretched, then practiced drawing the yumi, thrusting the yari, even firing a matchlock. Sweat soaked his robes, but he pushed on, honing each skill. He'd ride, shoot, stab, all while picturing war's din. Bushido fueled him, courage to face new tools, loyalty to wield them for his lord. This arsenal made samurai deadly, ready for any clash. We're marching on through the epic tale of Japan's samurai, set in the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we're stepping into the power plays, exploring the bond between samurai and their lords, the daimyo, and the wild world of feudal politics, loyalty, and betrayal. Buckle up for a dive into the ties that shaped the samurai's destiny. The daimyo were the big shots, feudal lords, ruling chunks of Japan's fractured land in the Kamakura period. Starting 1185, the shogunate, under Minamoto no Yoritomo, gave daimyo power over domains, rice fields, villages, castles. They answered to the shogun but ran the show locally, relying on samurai to fight, guard, and govern. Picture a daimyo in a grand hall, silk robes flowing, plotting strategy, while his samurai kneel, katanas at their sides, vowing loyalty. This bond was the backbone of feudal Japan, a chain of trust from shogun to lord to warrior. Loyalty drove it all. Bushido, the warrior's code, bound samurai to their daimyo like iron. Imagine a young samurai, swearing an oath, "My life for your will, my lord." He'd fight, kill, die, whatever the order. In the Kamakura era, during the Mongol invasions of 1274 and 1281, samurai charged into storms of arrows for their daimyo. Defending coastal lands, loyalty paid off land, rice, or honor rewarded faithful warriors. A samurai's pride was serving well, his Chanmage topknot bobbing as he bowed deep to his master. Politics was a messy game. Daimyo jockeyed for power, allying with clans or plotting against rivals. In the Kamakura period, the shogunate kept some order, but by the Muromachi era, from 1336, Chaos reigned. The Onin War, 1467 to 1483, 477, saw daimyo turn Kyoto to ash, each craving control. Samurai were pawns and players sent to battle. Spy, or negotiate, a warrior might ride days to deliver a secret scroll. Heart racing, knowing a rival daimyo's ambush could end him. Loyalty held, but the stakes were brutal. Betrayal cut deep. Some samurai turned ronin, masterless outcasts. If their daimyo died or cast them out, worse, a few switched sides. Picture a samurai, torn by ambition, slipping away at night, offering his blade to a rival lord for better land. During Sekigahara in 1600, Kobayakawa Hideaki flipped from the Western Army to Tokugawa Ieyasu, swinging the battle. Such treachery stunned peers, Bushido scorned it, and traitors risked death or disgrace. Yet, in a fractured land, some gambled for survival. Daimyo leaned on samurai for more than war. A lord might send his warrior to collect rice taxes, riding through muddy villages, ensuring peasants paid up. Another samurai guarded the castle, eyes scanning for ninja or rivals. Some advised, hunched over maps, whispering, "Strike the Takeda here." My lord, the daimyo's power rested on these men brave, skilled, loyal. In return, samurai got stipends, often rice, enough to feed a family, plus status in a rigid world. Tensions flared. A daimyo's bad call, say. A lost battle could spark doubt. Samurai grumbled if rewards dried up. Hunger tested loyalty in the Muromachi era. Weak shoguns let daimyo grow bold. A sparking foed, a samurai might face a choice, obey a reckless lord or drift as a ronin. Free, but shamed. Most clung to Bushido, serving through hardship. Their honor, brighter than gold. Let's bust a myth. Films paint daimyo as gods, samurai as blind drones. Truth, it was a two-way street. Daimyo needed samurai without their blades. A lord was a sitting duck. Samurai questioned, subtly, through counsel or grit. Diaries show warriors pleading, "Spare the men." My lord, we're weary. The bond was fierce but human, built on trust, not fear. Daily life reflected this. A samurai woke, bowed to his lord's banner, then trained spear, bow, sword, ready for the daimyo's call. He might escort his lord through hills, katana drawn, or kneel at a feast. Puring sake, ears open for plots. Power, politics, and loyalty wove their days, all under the daimyo's shadow. We're pushing deeper into the saga of Japan's samurai, roaming the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we shift focus to the samurai and the peasantry, how these warriors protected, taxed, and clashed with the common folk in feudal Japan. Get ready to uncover the gritty ties between the sword-wielding elite and the rice-growing masses. Samurai and peasants were bound in feudal life. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, Japan's land was split among daimyo, the lords who owned vast domains, peasants, farmers, craftsmen, fishers worked the fields, feeding the system. Samurai, loyal to their daimyo, bridged the gap. Picture a warrior, armor gleaming, riding through muddy rice paddies, eyes sharp for trouble. His role, protect the land, ensure the harvest, and keep order for his lord. Protection was vital. Bandits roamed, especially in the chaotic Muromachi era. From 1336, imagine a village thatched huts, families toiling, then raiders strike, stealing rice, torching homes, samurai charged in, katana flashing, yari spear thrusting, driving off the threat during the Mongol invasions. 1274 and 1281, coastal peasants relied on samurai to fend off foreign ships. Arrows flying from the Yumi bow. This wasn't just duty. Bushido's honor pushed samurai to shield the weak, their chanmage topknots swaying as they fought. Taxes were the flip side. Daimyo needed rice to pay samurai, fund wars, and live large. Samurai collected it, riding to villages, demanding a share, often 40 to 60% of the crop. Picture a peasant, back bent from planting, handing over sacks of rice, sweat and worry on his face. A good samurai was fair, measuring, honestly. But some got greedy, squeezing families dry. In lean years' drought, flood tension spiked. Peasants starved. Yet, samurai pressed on, loyal to their lord's needs. Tensions brewed. Peasants respected samurai as protectors. But resentment simmered. In the Muromachi period, civil wars like the Onin War, 1467 to 1477, wrecked fields, leaving farmers dispirit. Some rebelled uprisings, called Ikki, saw pitchforks and bamboo spears against katanas. Imagine a samurai, heart torn, facing a mob of hungry folk. Bushido called for control, not slaughter. A wise warrior calmed unrest. Maybe easing taxes? Showing mercy. Harsh ones struck back. Blood staining the soil. Daily life showed the bond. A samurai might patrol a village, nodding to a farmer, checking granaries. He'd train nearby, the clash of sword drills echoing. A reminder of strength. Peasants offered rice, fish, or woven mats. Small, thanks for safety. At harvest, samurai oversaw the haul, weighing sacks, while kids peeked, awed by the warrior's armor. Some samurai taught boys basic defense, arare bridge across classes. Women tied it together. Peasant wives toiled planting, cooking while samurai wives managed homes, sometimes helping in fields during war. In crisis, like a bandit raid, a peasant might bang a drum, calling the samurai, while his wife grabbed a naginata, joining the fight. This shared grit blurred lines, showing spirit beyond status. Let's bust a myth. Movies paint samurai as lofty lords, ignoring peasants. Truth, they relied on each other. Samurai needed rice to live. Peasants needed swords for safety. Diaries from the Muromachi era show samurai praising farmers. Their toil fuels our blades. Not always pals. But a gritty packed protection for production kept Japan turning. Interaction varied. In Kamakura's calmer days, samurai built trust, living near villages, sharing a festival drums, sake, laughter. By Muromachi, war's chaos strained ties. A samurai might return from battle, weary, to find peasants hiding grain, dodging taxes. He'd push loyalty, negociate, or punish, balancing Bushido's justice with his lord's demands. We're journeying deeper into the world of Japan's samurai, roaming the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we're trading battlefields for sacred ground, exploring how religion Shinto, Buddhism, and spiritual beliefs shaped the hearts and blades of these warriors. Get ready to uncover the soul behind the samurai. Religion was woven into samurai life. Shinto, Japan's ancient faith, pulsed through their world. It honored kami, spirits in nature, rivers, mountains, wind. Picture a samurai, dawn breaking, kneeling at a small shrine near his castle. He claps twice, bows, offers rice, praying to the kami for strength. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, Shinto fueled courage before battles like the Genpei War. A warrior might tie a blessed charm to his armor, believing the kami guarded him. His chanmage topknot, a nod to tradition as he rode out. Buddhism rolled in, too, blending with Shinto. By the Kamakura era, Zen Buddhism grabbed samurai hearts. Zen was raw meditation. Focus. Gnaw. Fluff. Imagine a warrior. Legs crossed. Eyes shut. Breathing slow in a quiet temple. Hours pass. Sweat beads. But he seeks clarity. Mastering fear. Zen trained the mind for war. Stay calm. React fast. Swing the katana. True. Monks taught this. And daimyo built temples, like those in Kamakura, where samurai sat, still as stone, readying for chaos like the Mongol invasions of 1274 and 1281. Death loomed large, and religion guided it. Buddhism saw life as fleeting suffering, then rebirth. Samurai embraced this, facing mortality head-on. Before a fight, one might chant a sutra, a Buddhist prayer, steadying his pulse. All is impermanent. My duty endures. If he fell, he believed his spirit moved on, maybe to a warrior's next life. Shinto added hope. Kami might lift a brave soul to honor. This mix steeled them, making seppuku, ritual, suicide, a bold step, not a defeat. Rituals tied faith to action. Before battle, samurai purified themselves. Cold water splashed over hands, mouth rinsed, cleansing body and soul. They'd visit shrines, offer swords to kami, asking victory. In the Muromachi period, from 1336, as wars like the Onin War raged, 1467 to 1477. Some carried omamori, tiny amulets, tucked in armor for luck. At camp, they'd light incense, bow to a portable shrine, blending Shinto's nature worship with Buddhism's calm. Temples weren't just spiritual. Monks trained samurai mental grit, even weapons. Some, like the Sohei, warrior monks, fought beside them, wielding naginata, pole arms in battles. Imagine a samurai and monk, side by side, defending a hill, dust flying, united by faith and fury. In Muromachi chaos, temples became forts, sheltering clans, a haven where samurai prayed, then planned. Let's bust a myth. Films show samurai as cold killers. No soul. Truth faith drove them. Diaries from the era reveal prayers kami. Guide my blade, Buddha. Ease my end. They wrote, haiku winds sweep the pine. Life, fathers. I stand blending belief and art. Religion wasn't separate. It fueled honor, loyalty. Bushido itself. Daily life echoed this. A samurai rose, meditated Zen style, then prayed at a Shinto shrine, hands clasped, seeking balance. He'd train, katana flashing, mind clear from Buddhist focus. At night, by candlelight, he might copy a sutra, calming his heart after a patrol. Faith touched, all armor blessed. Blade as sacred, even the chanmage, a tie to tradition. We're diving deeper into the captivating world of Japan's samurai, roaming the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we trade the clash of swords for the stroke of a brush, exploring how art, poetry, calligraphy, and beauty balance the brutal lives of these warriors. Get ready to see the samurai's creative spirit shine. Samurai weren't just fighters, they were artists, blending war with grace. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, and through the Muromachi era, from 1336, art was their refuge. Bushido, the warrior's code, valued discipline, and that spilled into creativity. Picture a samurai, battle-worn, sitting by a flickering lantern, his armor aside, crafting something delicate. This wasn't weakness, it was strength. A way to master the mind amid chaos. Poetry was huge, especially haiku. These short, 575-syllable gems captured life's fleeting beauty. Imagine a samurai, fresh from a skirmish in the Genpei War, gazing at a cherry blossom. He dips a brush in ink, writes, petals drift down slow, blood stains the earth, time fades fast. Haiku hyoed Buddhism's impermanenza, calming him for battles like the Mongol invasions of 1274 and 1281. Warriors carried scrolls, sharing verses in their chanmage topknots, still as they poured heart onto paper. Calligraphy was an art and a test. Wielding a brush took the same focus as a katana steady hand. Clear mind. Samurai practiced for hours, grinding ink, stroking bold kanya across rice paper. A single waver ruined the piece. Picture one in a quiet castle room, writing, "Loyalty binds me," in flowing script. Sweat on his brow, perfecting each line. In the Muromachi period, as chaos like the Onin War, 1467 to 1477, raged. Calligraphy grounded them, a Zen-like focus tying art to duty. Art went beyond paper. Tea ceremonies, born in these eras, were pure theater. A samurai knelt on tatami, whisking green matcha. Every move, precise. Lift the bowl, turn it twice. Sip. This ritual, steeped in Zen, brought peace. Daimyo hosted these. Samurai, bonding over steam and silence. A break from war's din. Gardens, two raked sand. Moss. Stones mimicked nature's calm. A warrior might stroll, armor off, pondering life beside a koi pond. Why art? It balanced the blade. Battles were brutal blood. Mud. Death. Art, les samurais, reflect. I feel human. They painted two ink landscapes of misty hills, cranes in flight. A samurai might sketch after a patrol. Brush dancing, capturing a mountain's quiet strength. This wasn't fluff. It honed patience, precision, skills for war. Muromachi chaos fueled this art, flourished as castles burned. A spark of beauty in turmoil. Let's bust a myth. Movies peg samurai as all fight. No soul. Wrong diaries glow with creativity. A warrior's haiku after Sekigahara in 1600. A sketch of his wife. Art wasn't rare. Many trained in it. Urged by lords to refine the mind. A samurai's day might blend both morning sword drills. Evening brush strokes. All under Bushido's call. Daily life wove art in a samurai rose. Meditated. Then wrote poetry. Words flowing like a blade's arc. He'd train. Katana flashing. Then join a tea right. Sipping slow. Mind still. At night. Hit paint. Ink splashing. Easing battle's weight. Art tied to faith. Shinto's nature love. Buddhism's calm making each stroke sacred. We're forging ahead in our epic exploration of Japan's samurai, set in the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we turn to the women and their world wives, warriors, and vital forces who shape samurai life beyond the battlefield. Get ready to meet the fierce and steadfast women behind the swords and Chanmage top-knots. Women in samurai society were pillars, often onzong, in the Kamakura period, starting 1185 and through the Muromachi era, from 1336, they held roles that kept clans strong. Samurai wives managed homes vital in a feudal world of war and duty. Picture a woman in a kimono, kneeling on tatami, overseeing rice stores, weaving cloth, and raising children while her husband rode to serve the daimyo. She was no mere bystander. Her work fueled the warrior's life, ensuring food, gear, and a legacy. These women were tough. Many trained in the naginata, a pole weapon with a curved blade, perfect for defense. Imagine a samurai's wife, hair tied back, practicing swift swings in the castle yard. Why? If bandits or rival clans struck while he was away, say, during the Mongol invasions of 1274 and 1281, she guarded the home. Kids at her side. Some, like Tomoe Gozen, a legendary figure from the Genpei War, fought on battlefields, wielding naginata with deadly grace, cutting foes alongside samurai. Loyalty mirrored Bushido. Wives upheld honor, supporting their husband's bond to the daimyo. Picture her packing his armor, cooking rice and fish, whispering courage, return with glory. My love, if he fell, she faced grim fates. Some chose seppuku, a ritual suicide, to join him in honor, especially in the Muromachi period's chaos, like the Onin War, 1467 to 1477. Others raised sons to avenge or serve, stealing them with tales of duty. Women shaped the next generation. Mothers taught boys Bushido courage. Respect handing them wooden swords young. Girls learned grit. Loyalty. Even basic naginata skills. Imagine a samurai's daughter, eyes wide, mimicking her mother's stance, ready to defend or endure. Education went beyond war. Calligraphy. Tearitis. Putri. A wife might write a haiku. Winds howl. He rides far. Home waits, strong, binding art to strength. Some women wielded power. In the Kamakura era, figures like Hosho Masako, the nun shogun, proved it. After her husband, Minamoto no Yoritomo, died. She shaved her head, guided the shogunate, and steered politics with cunning. In Muromachi times, as wars fractured Japan, wives of daimyo advised on strategy, managed lands, or rallied peasants for rice. Picture 1. Bold, negotiating with a rival clan, saving her home from siege. Let's bust a myth. Films cast samurai women as meek. In the shadows. Truth. They were vital. Fierce. Diaries praise wives who fought. Led. Endure it. Domoe gozen. In tales from the 12th century. Rode with men. Her naginata flashing. A warrior equal to any. Women weren't just support. They held the line cooking. Teaching. Of fighting when war called. Daily life showed their strength. A wife rose early. Cooked miso and rice. Then trained with her naginata. Muscle tôt. She'd tally taxes. Mend armor. Teach kids honor. If her samurai was at war, say, Sekigahara, in 1600, she guarded the castle. Eyes sharp, ready for attack. At night, she'd seth, pray to Kami and Buddha, blending faith and duty. We're charging deeper into the saga of Japan's samurai, set in the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we slip into the shadows, exploring the clash and cunning between samurai and ninja rivals, and spies, and masters of stealth in feudal Japan. Get ready for a thrilling dance of honor and secrecy. Samurai were the bold warriors. Katanas gleaming. Chonmage top knots high, bound by Bushido's honor. Ninja, or shinobi, were the flip-side ghosts of the night, hired for covert deeds. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, ninja emerged from rugged lands like Iga and Koga, training in stealth, not glory. Picture a samurai, armor clanking, patrolling a daimyo's castle. Unaware, a ninja scales the wall, cloaked in black, eyes glinting, ready to spy or strike. Ninja roles clashed with samurai ways. Samurai fought face to face, blades flashing in battles like the Genpei War. 1,180 to 1,185. All about courage and loyalty. Ninja. They crept through shadows, spying, sabotaging, assassinating. Imagine a shinobi, silent, slipping into a camp, stealing a war plan for a rival daimyo. They used tools shuriken, throwing stars, smoke bombs, bamboo tubes to breathe, underwater tricks samurai scorned as sneaky. Against Bushido's code, tensions flared in the Muromachi period. From 1336, as civil wars like the Onin War, 1467 to 1477 tore Japan apart. Daimyo hired ninja to tip the scales. Picture a samurai guarding a gate, heart pounding, sensing a shadow. A ninja might dart past, poison a well, or burn supplies. Gone before the katana swung. Samurai hated dishonor, demanded open fights. Not tricks. Some daimyo, desperate, still paid shinobi, pitting loyalty against results. Training set them apart. Samurai drilled openly, katana cuts, yumi bow shots, yari spear, thrusts, sweat, and steel in the sun. Ninja trained in secret climbing trees, blending into crowds, mastering disguises. Imagine a shinobi, veiled as a peasant, tailing a samurai through a village, unnoticed. They learned silence, soft steps, held breath, and sabotage, all to serve a lord or coin. Not honor. Clashes happened. In the late Muromachi era, samurai hunted ninja, especially in IGA. In 1581, just beyond our focus, Oda Nobunaga's forces raised Iga, samurai swords, clashing with ninja traps, spikes, hidden bits. Earlier, tensions simmered. A samurai might chase a spy. Katana raised, only to find smoke and an empty trail. Ninja rarely fought head-on. They fled, hid, struck later. This cat-and-mouse game fueled rivalry. Yet, overlap existed. Some samurai admired ninja skills, using spies for intel before battles like Sekigahara in 1600. A daimyo might send a samurai to guard, a ninja to snoop, both serving the same lord. Picture them, meeting the samurai, stern, armor bright, the ninja masked, bowing low. A tense alliance. Bushido clashed with stealth, but victory blurred lines. Let's bust a myth. Movies love ninja as super assassins, flipping over samurai in droves. Truth ninja avoided fights, focusing on stealth info. Not blood, they were farmers, monks, anyone, blending in. Samurai, trained for war, often outmatched them in open combat. Diaries hint at respect, a samurai noting, "Shadows id my lord." Grudgingly, daily life showed the divide. A samurai rode proud, patrolling, katana ready, serving his daimyo. A ninja lurked, maybe a villager by day, creeping at night, scaling a castle with rope. One lived for glory, the other survival. Two sides of Japan's turmoil were storming deeper into the epic world of Japan's samurai. Set in the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we charge into the heart of their battles' tactics, triumphs, and the raw chaos of war. Get ready to feel the clash of swords, the thunder of hooves, and the grit of these warriors. Battles defined samurai. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, war was constant. The Genpei War, 1180 to 1185, pitted Minamoto against Taira, a clash of clans for power. Picture samurai, armor gleaming, Chonmage topknots tied tight, galloping on horseback. Yumi Bovsdron, arrows flew, piercing foes, as they shouted war cries, proving loyalty to their daimyo. The Minamotos win at Dan-no Ura, ships rocking on bloody waves, birthed the shogunate. Cementing samurai might, tactics were key. Early on, samurai fought solo, seeking glory archers on horses, targeting rivals one-on-one. Imagine a warrior, eyes locked, loosing an arrow, then drawing his katana for a duel. By the Muromachi period, from 1336, chaos shifted things. The Onin War, 1467 to 1477, turned Kyoto to rubble. Samurai formed ranks, archers behind, spearmen with yari forward. Shields up, a daimyo barked orders: hold, a fire, charge, coordinating strikes amid dust and screams. Terrain mattered, hills for vantage, rivers to trap foes. Triumphs shone bright. In the Mongol invasions, 1,274 and 1,281. Samurai faced a storm of foreign ships. Picture them on Kyushu shores. Wind howling, yumi bows, raining arrows, katanas slashing invaders, storms. Dupet kamikaze, divine winds, aided them, sinking Mongol fleets. Samurai grit courage from Bushido held the line. A victory of skill and spirit, protecting Japan for their lords. Chaos ruled the field. Battles weren't clean like movies. Mudhurned, blood-soaked ground. Hursheshfel. In the Muromachi era, civil wars raged, clans clashing daily. Imagine the Battle of Sekigahara. 1600. Late in this period, 160. Zero warriors. Fog thick, muskets cracking, yari thrusting, katanas flashing. Samurai adapted bows for range, and spears for lines. Early guns for shock. Betrayal flipped fates. Like Kobayakawa Hideaki's switch. Hending Tokugawa Ieyasu triumph. Preparation was intense. Before a fight, samurai sharpened blades. Testet yari. Donned yoroi armor, iron plates, silk cords, helmets with fierce crests. They meditated. Sen focus calming nerves. Praying to Kami for strength. Picture a camp. Fires glowing. Warriors chanting sutras. Readying for death. A commander rallied them. For our Lord, we stand. Loyalty drove them. Bushido fueling every step. Let's bust a myth. Films love lone samurai carving through armies. All flair. Reality teamwork won. Units moved as one. Archers covering. Spearmen holding. Gunners blasting. A solo warrior fell fast. Samurai leaned on allies. Strategy and grit. Chronicles show plans, ambushes, feints outsmarting foes. Not just slashing. Daily life fed war. A samurai trained hard bow. Spear. Sword sweat dripping. Muscles aching. He studied scrolls. Past victories like Minamoto no Yoshitsune's tricks. Readying for chaos. At dawn, he'd bow to his lord's banner. Ride to scout. Heart pounding. Katana close. Battles weren't daily, but the threat loomed, shaping every breath. We're pressing deeper into the gripping world of Japan's samurai, roaming the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we shift from the clash of battle to the craft of protection. Exploring samurai armor, its making, style, and how it shielded these warriors in war. Get ready to uncover the steel and skill that guarded their lives. Armor was a samurai's lifeline. Called yoroi, it blended beauty and brawn. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, early armor, yoroi, was built for horse-mounted archers. Picture a samurai, chanmij topknot secured, donning a heavy, boxy suit, iron plates, lacquered black or red, tied with silk cords, weighing 20 to 30 pounds. It guarded chest, arms, and thighs, letting him ride and shoot the yumi bow, crafted by masters. It took months. A shield for battles like the Genpei War. Crafting was art. Smiths forged iron scales. Kozane, small and tough. Coated in lacquer to resist rain and rust. They laced them with silk or leather bright blues. Reds, Oranges strong yet flexible. Imagine a workshop. Sparks flying. Hammers ringing. As a smith prays to Kami, shaping a chest plate. Each piece fit custom. Molded to the warrior. Tested to stop an arrow or blade. Helmets. Kebuto. Were key iron domes. Riveted. With neck guards and fierce crests. Like horns or crescents. To all foes. Style evolved. In the Muromachi period, from 1336, war changed more. Foot soldiers, spears, and chaos like the Onin War. 1467 to 1477. Armor slim to Dumaru. Lighter, tighter. Wrapping the body for mobility. Picture a samurai, jogging in 15-pound gear, yari spear in hand, dodging strikes, sewed, shoulder guards, shrank for speed, kote, arm sleeves, and sunyate. Shin guards, kept him safe. Colors and crests showed clan pride, red for Taira, black for Minamoto. Function was everything. Yoroi blocked arrows, dulled katana cuts, and, later, slowed matchlock bullets from 1543. The Chonmage top knot locked the kabuto tight. Sweat beating under it in battle. Imagine a samurai, armor clanking, charging at Sekigahara in 1600. Mud splashing, gunsmoke thick. A good suit meant life plates turned a blade. Cords flexed for swings. Warriors tested it. Slashing straw dummies, ensuring strength. Daily wear varied. On patrol, a samurai might don light armor. Ready for bandits. Katana at his side. Before big fights, he'd layer up chest plate, leg guards. Helmet tying cords tight. Heart racing. Wives helped. Cinching silk. Praying for safety. In camp, he'd shed heavy pieces. Keeping coat on. Alert for a ninja strike. Maintenance mattered. Polishing lacquer. Mending cords. Keeping it battle ready. Let's bust a myth. Movies show samurai in shiny. Sleikheer. Fighting with ease. Truth Yoroi was rugged. Scratched. Heavy practical. Not perfect. It weighed on shoulders. Slowed steps in mud. Chronicles note warriors tiring. Adjusting straps mid-fight. Still, it saved lives. A balance of protection and grit. Craft tied to spirit. Armor bore Shinto blessings. Smiths chanted. Purifying steel. A samurai knelt. Praying to Kami. Believing his yoroi held power. In Muromachi chaos, he'd tie an omamori. A charm. 2 cords. Hoping for luck. Each dent told a story arrow deflected. Blade glanced. Proof of survival. We're galloping deeper into the saga of Japan's samurai. Set in the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we saddle up to explore samurai and horses their speed, skill, and unbreakable bond in war. Get ready to ride alongside these warriors and feel the thunder of the charge. Horses were the samurai's wings. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, they were mounted warriors. Born to the saddle, picture a samurai. Chonmage top knot tied, armor gleaming. Astride a sturdy steed, Yumi bow in hand. Horses gave speed, height, and power vital in battles like the Genpei War. 1000, 180 to 1,000, 185, galloping across fields. They'd loose arrows, strike with katanas, and outmaneuver foes, all for their daimyo's glory. Breeds mattered. Japanese horses, like the Kiso, were small, tough, bred for rugged hills, shorter than Western mounts. They stood 13 hands high, but had grit enduring mud, mountains, and war. Imagine a samurai, Reinstheit, guiding his steed through a forest. Oof, pounding, dodging trees. Grooms raised them strong, fed on grass and grain, ready for the chaos of the Mongol invasions. 1,274 and 1,281, where speed saved lives. Training was intense. Samurai learned young, maybe age 10, balancing on a galloping horse, bow drawn. Picture a boy, sweat dripping, practicing turns, aiming at straw targets, falling, then remounting. They mastered Yabusame archery on horseback, racing past marks, loosing arrows with pinpoint aim. In the Muromachi period, from 1,336, drills grew complex, charge, wheel, strike with a yari spear, all in armor, the horse snorting, obeying every nudge. The bond was deep. A samurai cared for his mount, brushing its coat, checking hooves, whispering praise. War tools. Horses weren't tools, they were partners. In camp, he'd tether it close, feed it rice straw, pray to Kami for its strength. Chronicles tell of warriors weeping for fallen steeds, naming them Kaze, wind, taro, brave ties forged through battle's fire. War showed their might. In the Genpei War, samurai charged Taira lines, hooves shaking earth, arrows flying. At Dan-no Yura in 1185, they rode along shores, backing ships, turning the tide. Muromachi chaos, like the Onin War. 1,467 to 1,477. Mixed it up horses, led charges. Then samurai fought on foot as streets clogged. By Sekigahara in 1600, cavalry sped through fog, katanas slashing, a blur of power. Gear fit the ride. Yoroi armor was light for mobility iron plates, silk cords letting the samurai lean, shoot, swing. Saddles, kura, were wooden, padded, built for control. Stirrups, abumi, gripped boots, steadying a warrior mid-gallop. The horse wore armor to leather. Sometimes iron guarding against arrows. Picture a samurai, helmet crested, chonmage secure, racing, dust rising, a living weapon. Let's bust a myth. Films show samurai always on foot, dueling solo. Truth horses ruled early battles, especially in Kamakura days. Cavalry shifted fights, speed to flank, height to strike. Scrolls, praise, riders, his steed flew. Fueshfel. Not every samurai rode some lacked mounts, but horsemen turned wars. Daily life leaned on horses. A samurai rode to patrol, katana at his side, scanning for bandits. He'd train. Galloping fields, Yumi ready, heart pounding. Travel to the daimyo's call days on saddle. Crossing rivers, tested horse and man. Bushido's grit bonded them. I'll do for duty. We're storming deeper into the epic tale of Japan's samurai. set in the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we scale the walls to explore samurai and castles' fortresses of power, sites of sieges, and strongholds that shape their world. Get ready to defend and attack with these warriors. Castles were the beating hearts of samurai life. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, early forts were rugged wooden stockades, earth mounts, perched on hills for sight. Picture a samurai, Chanmage top-knot tied, patrolling a steep slope. Yumi Bao, ready? Guarding his daimyo's land. These simple bases, like early Himeji, shielded clans during the Genpei War, blocking foes with heightened grit. By the Muromachi period, from 1336, castle grew mighty. Stone walls rose, thick and slanted, defying battering rams. Imagine Himeji or Kumamoto towers, or Tenshu, soaring high, ringed by moats, gates twisting to trap attackers. Samurai built these strongholds, hauling stone, crafting wood beams, sweat dripping, to house their lord, families, and troops. A castle was power control over rice lands. A show of strength, defense was key. Samurai manned walls, katanas at hips, scanning for rivals. Archers with yumi bows lined turrets, arrows ready. Moats, water or mud slowed charges, spike traps, snagged feet. In the Onin War, 1467 to 1477, Kyoto's castle burned, but others stood firm. Picture a samurai, armor clanking, shouting, "Hold the gate," as foes stormed. Loyalty to his daimyo driving him. Zegas tested grit. Attackers cut supplies. Starved castles out. Samurai inside. Rationed the rice. Fish. Water. Eyes sharp for ninja or traders. Imagine a month-long siege. Hunga gnawing. Yet a warrior, in lacquered yoroi, thrusts a yari spear, fending off ladders. In the Muromachi era, chaos fueled sieges, clans clashed. Cannons rare, but coming. Defenders fought back, pouring boiling oil, dropping stones. Bushido's courage blazing. Life inside buzzed. The daimyo ruled from the Tenshu, planning war on tatami floors. Screens painted with cranes. Samurai lived close barracks. Small rooms training in courtyards. Blades ringing. Wives cooked. Kids played. Smiths forged katanas. A castle held hundreds. A mini-city. Alive with duty. Picture a samurai. Dawn breaking. Bowing to his lord. And then patrolling. Heart steady. Attacking a castle flipped the script. Samurai led assaults. Scaling walls with ropes. Dodging arrows. In late Muromachi, by Sekigahara in 1600, some used early guns matchlocks, blasting gates amid smoke. Tactics shown faint here. Charge there. Break the line. A samurai, helmet crested, led men, katana raised, roaring through mud, aiming to topple a rival daimyo. Let's bust a myth. Movies show castles as pretty, all style, truth. They were tough, stone scarred, walls practical, built for war. Chronicles note samurai grumbling, cold halls, long watches. Beauty came second gardens. Yes, but defense ruled. saving lives in chaos. Castles tied to spirit. Samurai prayed at Shinto shrines inside, asking kami for strength. Zen focus calmed them, guarding walls, ready for death. Adendil kebuto hilmel, a scratched gate, each told of battles endured. Owner held. We're forging ahead in our epic journey through the world of Japan's samurai. Set in the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we step into the training grounds, exploring the drills, skills, and relentless grit that shaped these warriors. Get ready to sweat and strive alongside the samurai. Training was the crucible of a samurai. From childhood, often ages even, boys born to the class began a grueling path. Picture a young lad, chanmij top knot, just forming. Gripping, a wooden bokken sword, feet bare on dirt. Dawn to dusk. He'd swing, block, thrust muscles burning, sweat dripping under a master's stern gaze. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, this built warriors for clashes like the Genpei War, ready to serve their daimyo. Swordsmanship ruled. The katana, the samurai's soul, demanded mastery. Imagine adojo, air thick. A boy practicing kaidas precise moves draw. Oh, cut. Parry. Sheath. Urspast. Hands blistered. But perfection was life or death. Schools like Keitori Shinto Ryu, ancient, even then, taught fluid strikes, blending, attack, and defense. A samurai drilled until the blade moved like breath, ready for battle's chaos. Archery honed precision. The Yumi bow, tall and asymmetrical, was key in Kamakura days. Picture a warrior, on horseback, galloping past targets, loosing arrows, thwack, thwack hitting dead center. Yabusame, ritual archery, tested speed and aim, wind whipping his face. In the Mongol invasions, 1274 and 1281, this skill reigned death, saving Japan. Arms ached, but quitting wasn't Bushido. Spears, the Yari, built strength. In the Muromachi period, from 1336, war's shift favored reach. Imagine a samurai, in lacquered armor, thrusting a long pole, sweat-soaking robes, learning to jab, sweep, hold a line, drills mimicked, war charge, unblock, pivot preparing for the Onin War's mess. 1,467 to 1,477. Every stab honed focus, loyalty driving each lunge. Horsemanship was vital. Picture a samurai, young, balancing on a snorting steed. Reinsteit, racing field. He'd shoot, swing, leap heart-pounding, mastering control. By Sekigahara in 1600, cavalry charged, and training paid off speed, power, unity, falls bruised. But he rose, bonding with his horse, a partner in war. Mental grit mattered. Zen-shaped training samurai sat, legs crossed, breathing deep, stilling fear. Imagine one, eyes shut, picturing a fight, calm amid chaos. Masters barked focus. Be the blade. This steeled them for death. Seppuku's edge. Or a rival's strike. Bushido fused mind and body courage. Honor. Always. Let's bust a myth. Films show samurai as instant masters. Born deadly. Truth skills took years, decades of sweat. Enfalure. Grit. Scroll's note. Boys trembling. Missing marks. Then trying again. Masters pushed hard, forging warriors through pain. Not magic. For real wars. Daily life was drill. A samurai woke. Stretched. Meditated. Then trained katana flashing. Yumi twanging. Yari thrusting. He'd ride. Spar. Study tactics. All for his lord. At night, bruised. He'd sharpen blades. Pray to Kami. Ready for tomorrow. Training never stopped bandits. Battles. Duty loomed. We're pressing deeper into the gripping saga of Japan's samurai. Set in the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we dive into the core of their spirit loyalty. The oaths, bonds, and brutal tests that define their devotion. Get ready to feel the unshakable heart of these warriors. Loyalty was the samurai's lifeblood. Bushido, the warrior's code, forged an iron bond to their daimyo. The feudal lord, picture a samurai, Chonmage topknot tied, kneeling in a castle hall, hands on thighs, swearing, my life, my blade, for you, my lord. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, this oath drove them through battles like the Genpei War, risking all to lift the Minamoto to power. The bond was sacred. Samurai served, fought, died for their daimyo. Imagine one, armor on, charging into the Mongol invasions. 1,274 and 1,281 arrows flying, katana raised, shielding his lord's lands. Loyalty meant total surrender, leaving family, facing death. No questions. Rewards came rice, land, honor. A samurai's pride glowed. His duty to his master, brighter than life itself. Tests were fierce. In the Muromachi period, from 1336, chaos reigned. Civil wars, like the Onin War, 1467 to 1477, tore clans apart. Picture a samurai, mud-soaked, standing firm as rivals attacked, loyalty holding him when food ran low. Some faced betrayal, daimyo clashed, alliances shifted. At Sekigahara in 1600, loyalty flipped. Kobayakawa Hideaki switched sides, clinching Tokugawa's win. A stab to Bushido's heart. Failure could deep. If a daimyo fell, options grim, become a ronin, a masterless wanderer, shamed and lost. Or choose seppuku, ritual suicide. Imagine a samurai in white robes, tanto blade in hand, writing a final haiku. Duty ends. I fade, then slicing his belly, proving devotion beyond death. This redeemed honor spared his family disgrace. A brutal test of fealty. Loyalty stretched daily. A samurai rode out, katana ready, patrolling villages, collecting rice taxes for his lord. He'd guard castles, risk ambushes. Eyes sharp for ninja or foes. Picture him, weary, whispering to his wife, I serve. Weindure. Bushido demanded this unwavering. even when a daimyo's orders baffled or bled him dry. Let's bust a myth. Movies paint samurai as blind drones, bowing to cruel lords. Truth, loyalty was a pact. Daimyo gave protection. Rice, samurai gave skill. Life. Scrolls show quiet pushback, a warrior advising, "My lord, spare the men." Not rebellion, but a bond, human and fierce. Tested in fire, oaths shaped all. Young samurai swore early, often a thimpton, before a shrine, kami witnessing, "I am yours." My lord, inva genpai. Onen, beyond. They upheld it. Yumi bow firing, yari thrusting, blood spilling, loyalty to clan, family, self-wove tight. A thread through Japan's chaos. We're surging deeper into the epic story of Japan's samurai, set in the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we unravel the pulse of their existence, honor, the bedrock of reputation, duty, and the crushing cost of shame. Get ready to feel the weight of pride that drove these warriors. Honor was everything to a samurai, rooted in Bushido, the warrior's code. It shaped their name, their worth. Picture a samurai, Chonmij, top knot tied, standing tall in lacquered armor, katana at his side. Knowing his reputation defined him in the Kamakura period, starting 1185. Honor meant valor in battles like the Genpei War, facing foes head-on. Yumi bow steady, proving courage for his daimyo. Reputation was public, a samurai's deeds bravery. Loyalty echoed through clans. Imagine one charging in the Mongol invasions, 1274 and 1281, deflecting arrows, saving a village. His name sung by peasants and lords alike. Honor shone in fairness, sparing a beaten foe. Keeping oaths, scrolls praise warriors. His blade guards our pride. A good name lifted his family, secured his place. Duty fueled honor. Samurai served their daimyo with unwavering focus, guarding castles, collecting rice, fighting to the end. Picture one, sweat beading, thrusting a yari spear in the Onin War. 1467 to 1477, holding a line for his lord. Bushido demanded sacrifice ride days. Bleed in mud. Never waver. Honor wasn't talk, it was action. Etched in every swing, shame was a blade sharper than steel. To fail, flee a fight. To betray, a lord, crushed, a samurai. Imagine one, head bowed, shunned after a lost battle in Muromachi chaos. Peers turning away. Shame stained his clan, his kin. Redemption loomed grim seppuku. Ritual, suicide. He'd kneel, tanto in hand, write a haiku. Honor lost. I mend then cut his belly. Restoring pride through pain. Tests came hard. In war, like Sekigahara in 1600, honor clashed with survival. A samurai might face a choice die for a doomed daimyo, or live disgraced. Most chose death, katana flashing, loyalty and pride intact. Even in peace. Honor ruled fair tax collection, calm justice to peasants. A steady gaze under pressure. Let's bust a myth. Films paint samurai as stiff, honor-obsessed robots. Truth, They felt fear. I doubt. But honor pushed them past it. Diaries show a warrior confessing heart races. Yet I stand human. Yes, but Bushido forged grit, protecting, serving, shining, even in chaos. Daily life tested it. A samurai rose, prayed to Kami, donned armor, patrolled lands, katana ready. He'd spar, write poetry, blossoms fall. I hold showing grace, under duty. Shame haunted him, one slip harsh words. A weak moment meant scorn. He lived upright, eyes forward. Honor his shield. We're nearing the end of our epic dive into Japan's samurai, set in the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we face the stark reality of samurai and death, how they stared down mortality, embraced rituals, and carved a lasting legacy. Get ready to stand with these warriors in their final moments. Death was a constant shadow for samurai. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, battles like the Genpei War brought it close arrows flying, katanas clashing, blood on the ground. Bushido, the warrior's code, taught them to face it bravely. Picture a samurai, Chanmij topknot, tied, Amor Dindil, charging foes in the Mongol invasions, 1,274 and 1,281, knowing each step might be his last, yet unflinching. Mortality shaped their mind. Buddhism, big in these eras, saw life as fleeting suffering, then rebirth. Samurai leaned into this. Calm before chaos. Imagine one kneeling in Zen meditation, breathing deep, picturing death to master fear. Shinto added hope. Kami spirits might honor a brave soul. He'd pray, hands clasped, asking strength, ready to fall for his daimyo. Seppuku, ritual suicide, was their bold dance with death. If honor broke, Lord lost. Shame earned. A samurai chose this. Picture him, in white robes, on a mat. Tanto blade gleaming. He'd write a death. Poem winds die. I join them. Then plunge the knife. Slicing his belly, a second beheading him swiftly. In the Muromachi period, from 1,336, amid wars like Onin, 1,467 to 1,477. This cleansed failure sealed loyalty. Battle deaths were raw. At Sekigahara in 1600, samurai fell in mud. Yarispeir spirtsing, matchlocks roaring, no glory. Just grit. Some died shielding lords. Others cut down mid-charge. Imagine a warrior, katana, raised, breath ragged, taking foes with him. Honor intact. Families mourned. But his courage lived in tales. Rituals honored the end. Before battle, a samurai purified water over hands. A sutra chanted. An omamori charm tied to armor. If he fell, comrades burned incense, prayed to Buddha and Kami, easing his spirit. Bodies were rare, war left chaos, but a helmet or blade returned home. A relic of duty, legacy endured. A samurai's name carried on bravery in the Genpei War. Defiance against Mongols. Picture a son. Hearing, your father stood tall. Deed, strong. Clans built shrines, carved tales in scrolls. passing valor to kids. Even Ronin, masterless, left marks wandering, fighting, seeking redemption. Let's bust a myth. Movies show samurai craving death. Reckless. Truth. They valued life. Fought to protect. But accepted fate. Diary reveal fears I tremble. Yet, go human. Yet, Bushido drove them. Death, a duty, not a wish. Daily life faced it. A samurai trained, katana flashing, ready for the end. He'd patrol, Yumi bow in hand, kiss his wife, unsure of return. At night, by fire. Hidrite life fades. Honor holds bracing for mortality. We've reached the final chapter of our epic journey through Japan's samurai, spanning the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, the 12th to 15th centuries. Today, we close with their legacy, their lasting impact, the myths that linger, and the echoes of these warriors in time. Get ready to honor the samurai's enduring mark. The samurai's impact was vast. In the Kamakura period, starting 1185, they forged a new order. Their victories in the Genpei War, 1180 to 1185, lifted the Minamoto, birthing the shogunate, a military rule that shaped Japan for centuries. Samurai, with katanas, Yumi bows, and Chanmage topknots, became the backbone, defending lands, serving daimyo, and building a feudal world of loyalty and might. Their influence grew in the Muromachi period, from 1336, amid chaos like the Onin War, 1467 to 1477. Samurai held clans together, fighting, governing, collecting rice. By Sekigahara in 1600, their skill and grit handed Tokugawa Ieyasu power, ushering in peace that leaned on their legacy. They weren't just warriors, they shaped law, culture, and honor. Bushido's code rippling through time. Culture carried their mark. Samurai wrote, haiku blossoms fade. Duty lasts, blending Zen, calm, and Shinto spirit. They crafted calligraphy, sipped tea in precise rites, built gardens of stone and moss. Picture a warrior, armor off, brush in hand, leaving art for ages. Their yoroi armor, crested helmets, and sacred katanas inspired craft, still seen in museums today. Myths grew wild. Early tales sang of heroes Minamoto, no Yoshitsune, outsmarting foes with cunning and bow. Scrolls painted samurai as giants, unflinching, slicing through storms. Modern movies twist this lone swordsman, all flair, bottling hordes. Truth, they fought in teams. Used Yari, guns, and grit, loyal to lords, not glory. We've busted the samurai were human, fierce, flawed, bound by duty. Legacy lived on. Their courage facing Mongols in 1274 and 1281 steeled Japan's spirit. Bushido's echo, honor. Loyalty shaped soldiers, leaders, even modern values. Clans passed tales, a father's stand, a son's oath. Shrines to Kami honored fallen, katanas handed down, symbols of valor, even Ronin, wandering, left stories of redemption. Worldwide, they fascinate. Books, Films. Games draw on samurai katanas flash. Enchantment sways, but reality shines brighter discipline in training. In sacrifice in battle, balance in art. They built a nation, fought for survival, left a code courage, respect that lingers. Picture kids today, inspired, swinging sticks, dreaming of samurai heart.